Today on NewbieVeT, got my special guest, got my dog, Killa.
Killa in the building, man. Finally, huh?
Finally, man. Finally got you on. Finally got you on.
Man. DCE, man. Dark Chain, man. CTC United, man. It's all family around here, man. It's all love, man.
It's all day, man. So, you originally from
Pittsburgh. You know what it is, baby. Black and gold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what it was like growing up in Pittsburgh?
Shit, still city shit harsh. You know what I mean? It's gutter up there. It's different. Way different than Augusta. I mean,
like what's some things that's different about it?
I mean, it's not to say it ain't harsh up here, but it's like, you know, like where I grew up at, it's like I ain't know nothing about cutting no yards or nothing like that. Like it was just like the hood is like straight blocks. Like, you know what I mean? I know y'all got Jackson shit down here and different things like that, but it's like in Pittsburgh, it's like, especially where I live in Garfield, you know what I'm saying? I'm an East Side baby, man. Shout out to Garfield, you know what I mean? You know what it is, man. Peru on mine, man. But yeah, like, you know, well, I'm from like inner city, you dig? So like once you got down to the avenue from my house, like you was like downtown, bro. Ain't no more yards, ain't no more ain't none of that, you know what I mean? Like, and then me personally, my life was crazy because, you know, my mom was took away from me. She was murdered when I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Man. So it was a different experience. You know what I mean? It was a crazy experience, kind of growing up. You know, like in that environment. Like I had to grow up fast. You know what I mean? Like I got an old soul. I guess I might have had one always. Like my grandma used to tell me, I always been an angry old man. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
Like, you can look at my baby pictures and kind of tell that, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so it's like... So I might have always been an old soul, but I had to definitely grow up real fast, man. Real fast.
So you was the only sibling?
Nah, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of three. You know what I'm saying? Like, my little sister, she was born... Actually, my little sister was with me. I was 8. My little sister was 5. When my mom passed away, my mom was, you know what I'm saying, was killed. She was murdered in front of us, actually, pretty much.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then I got a little brother. It was basically about, I don't know, it was a few years later. You know, I can't remember the exact. I know me and my brother 10 years apart.
Right. So, like,
when I turned 37, he turned 27. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact. That's for sure. Shout out to little Teasy, Young Jeezy. He out there. That's little Brody, you know what I mean? Shout out him, man. But, yeah, like, it was hard for my dad. Like, my dad, you can see his tattoos and shit like that. It was hard. It was hard for all of us losing my mom. You know what I mean? Like, even me, like, it's crazy because even to this day, I go back to the projects, I go back to the hood, and people be like, you know, they talk about my mom, and I really don't, I understand them, but it's like, bro, I was 8. It's hard to remember when you was 12 to 15, you know what I mean? Like, at my age, so it's like 8 years old, I kind of remember pictures of her face, like, really. So I kind of live on through them stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know, it'd be kind of bittersweet to me when I go back to Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird, like, everything, like, even my hair, like, everybody was like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, I had the prettiest hair as growing up as a kid. Kind of found out I lost it all very quick, like, like 19, 20. But, you see, my daughter, she got all the same hair that everybody, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's all coming back around, but it was a tough go around for me, man, growing up, man. Definitely. But I had a solid background, man. My grandma, man, she was a soldier, man, and she held me up in a way that, like, you know, a lot of people don't really give respect to they matriarchs and they patriarchs and the elders of their family. Like, I'll keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? And Piff, you know what I'm saying, you'll probably see his interview soon too. Like, he'll speak on it too. Like, we had a family background, you know, and I just say, like, it's crazy because people talk about hardships with family and stuff like that. And I had it. I definitely had it. You heard my story, but I also had the good side of it too because my family was so strong. So it's like they never really let me be like, it was hard to explain. Like, I could be sad, you know what I mean, but I couldn't be weak, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't allowed around us, you know what I mean? Like, my grandma, like she had to bury her first daughter, her baby girl, and my grandma, I never seen her fully break. Like, only time I ever really seen her cry like that other than funerals was when I was doing dumb shit. And she really was at the breaking point of that shit. You know what I mean? But other than that, bro, like, my grandma was so much of a soldier that I really couldn't stay stagnant in that position of feeling down and being, you know what I mean? Right. So, like, you know, I can attest to that, man. Like, y'all don't, you know, you need to give respect out to your mothers, to the people that surround you, even your big cousins, your big brothers, uncles, man. Family mean a lot, man. You know, I know everybody on Facebook nowadays is telling a lot, loyalty ain't nothing, I don't care. My cousin, man. All I know is I love my cousins, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love all y'all, you know what I mean? Like, cause, like, I remember them days when we was all sleep on the floor and shit like that, you know what I mean? It was, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that mean a lot to me, you know what I mean?
A lot of things change when you grow up. Like, you might grow up with your family, because a lot of family now, like, the families now, they don't experience and go through the things that we went through when we was a lot younger.
No.
Like, a lot families are not closer.
No, they don't go through it together. Like,
they're not even closer like they were back in the day.
Nope, they ain't.
So it's like so that's kind of bad, because a lot of kids gonna grow up not knowing who their family are.
Facts. You know, and that's real talk. Like, I want to put that out there, like, as not only a dark chain artist, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I'm a dark chain entity. I put it out there. Like, I'm big DCE, you know what I mean? Like, and that's one thing I can say about our squad. That's one thing we teach with each other. You know, you can ask the little homies, everybody we deal with in Augusta, everybody who's around, like, we try to treat everybody like family. Because at the end of the day, like you said, people don't go through stuff together no more. Families ain't tight-knit no more. You know what I mean? I remember when we was growing up, it was like, oh, they jumped on me. I'll call my big cousin. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, these kids don't even know who their big cousin is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
they depend on more friends than family.
Facts, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, shit, when I grew up, like, shit, my big cousin Joey, shit, he was like the most fair kid in the neighborhood. Yeah. And he lived in a whole different neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But when he came all the way to your neighborhood, all the way to my neighborhood, people knew, like, yeah, Kev cousin here, they on the bullshit. And like, it was always like, yeah, my grandma's crib, like, you know what I mean? It was like definitely Columbo, man. Shout out to the top of the bowl, man. Everybody know Tessa, man, the family, man, 5300. Like, we used to be out there deep as hell, like, you know, down to my Uncle G and, you know what I'm saying, the big homies. Like, that's
Pittsburgh, right?
Pittsburgh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. We 11-0 right now, too. Put that out there, man. Yeah, okay. Best football team in the league right now, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm feeling myself. Feeling myself.
All right, so what was the transition? How you want to make migrating down to the South?
Man.
How that happen?
It was crazy because, like, my uncle, like, okay, 96, like, I had family, like, we moved straight to Atlanta. I'm put that straight out there like that.
So why Atlanta?
Big shout out to Atlanta, man. I love the A, man. I always gonna love the A. Like, 96, my family started coming. What happened was, I didn't know at the time, I just thought niggas was just leaving to Atlanta. Right. But it was like my Aunt Tracy and my big cousin dad, you know what I'm saying, Piff Daddy for real. They was getting work because of the Olympics and shit was coming. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and like in Pittsburgh, it was like, if you weren't working at some mill or some shit like that or down, you know what I'm saying, you weren't really making no bread.
So they didn't make money in the mill?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, that's what I'm saying. If you wasn't doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
That was the most expensive job.
Yeah, like them jobs, like, you know what I mean? Like, up, you know, it's a northern town, so they got the unions and all that.
Right.
So you ain't part of that. Like, you ain't really getting money like that. And then, at the same time, like, Mom Tracy, she was, you know what I mean? I believe she was in insurance or whatever, but jobs, everything was moving to Georgia. It was fast, you know what I mean? Like, at the time, I had no idea what was going on. I just thought people was moving to Atlanta because of Menace to Society or something, you know? Real tight, you could have asked me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really know, but everybody was going to the A, and it was crazy because, like, my uncle, he came down here, you know what I mean? Not to Augusta, but he came to Atlanta. And when he came back, like, he basically, like, kind of told all of us, like, bro, like, once I get my stuff, I'm not coming back. And he left, you know, and like I said, my aunt left, and it was, like, more and more. And, like, by the time I first visited Georgia and was, like, really, my dad was already living here, different stuff like that. So it was, like, shit, Georgia been a part of my family, if you ask me, like, you know, like, so I always gonna have love for the A, for Georgia, you know what I mean? It's like, Yeah, I'm a Pittsburgh baby, and I'm always love it. But man, big shout out GA, man. Like big shout out Atlanta, as far as music and shit, the bones, everything. That like I scraped my elbows, I blood, sweat, and tears in Atlanta. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's real.
So how you how you wind up linking up with Dark Chain?
Man, real talk. Dart was you know, we call him Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Y'all call him Dart, you know what I'm saying? But the homie, you know what I mean? Like, basically, he was really, like, before he was even a manager, he was more like an inspiration for Lil Cuz, for Piff. Right. You know what I mean? That's you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so Piff knew him first?
Yeah, Piff knew him first, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just, like, the big cousin. Like, I was just, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, like Piff always been the visionary and a lot of this shit with me, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people knew I could rap. In fact, I was, like, slick, like, at the lunch table, all that. I was a legend, but that shit ain't mean nothing. Because it wasn't
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but that ain't mean nothing because, shit, I was doing that shit for, like, damn near 10 years. But for the first time I went in the studio and I ain't know what to do, bro. Like, I was just like, you know what I mean? I was, you know what I mean? I was slick starstruck. Like, I didn't know what to do. So, like, Cuzzo always had that drive, like, to be like, I'm going to take it to this next level and this next level. So when he met up with Dark Chain, you know what I mean? When he met up with Shaq, it was like we went from being rappers on the corner, like, you know, like if you ever seen the Notorious movie with Biggie Smalls. On the corner. Yeah, that's exactly. I'm from Brockett Road, Clarkson, man, Decatur, man. Like I said, Atlanta, like, it was nothing for us to be out there smoking, you know, we traveling. Shit, bro, it's like 2000, 2001, 2002, like them years, like, you know, we just out there just really trapping and shit like that, just doing shit. But it was like, there was a few of us out there because we rapped and shit like that, but
Atlanta wasn't popping at that time. Not like it is now.
Nah, hell nah. Hell nah. Yeah. Nah, like, Big Meech and them hit the scene. I was like, that's when we was there, you know what I mean? Like Brockett Road, like, I don't know if y'all heard the Strokers strip club.
So you was there around the time Big Meech
we was out. There, like, bro, I swear to God, I've been in the gas station multiple times with Big Meech where you go in there and just to get in and out, Meech will pay for everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's shit. Meech just put down a whole bunch of money. He just want what he want. He leaving. Everybody gas, whoever they all that shit, that's on them. Whatever's left, that's like, you know, we all know now, you know what I'm saying, what a big homie is, but I got big respect and I show big, like, the utmost respect to Meech and them, you know, like, I can't speak enough on the fact that, like, shit, in Clarkson, like, East Side, shit like that, like, I said, Brockett Road Strip and all that, like, it was always his own little section of the East Side. Right. But with Strokers being there and things like that, it was always a popping ass, his own little section. Right. And them BMF boys, they came through and like that happened, and then he had like the Welcome to Atlanta and all that. Yeah. And it was like, bro, it was like shit. It was like a whole new life for us, you know what I mean? Like I went from being in the projects in Pittsburgh, shit like that, to being this to next thing you know, we in the club, like people throwing thousands and thousands of dollars in Strokers and stuff like that. So it was like, my whole attitude towards money, towards everything had to change then. There's no way it don't change. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, like when you really look at it, like, inspiration come from so many places. You know what I mean? Inspiration gonna come from, and when you're from the hood, you know what I mean, money is gonna be a big inspiration for you. You know what I mean? So that happening, and what Luda and them was doing, Tip. Like,
so you was around there with all that.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, facts, all that shit. When Lil Jon first touchdown, we was there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I always, forever, I love Atlanta, dog. Like that's a part of like the world. Like I swear to God, like.
Well, not cutting you off, but when did you start seeing the change in Atlanta? Like you came before it popped off. So how did you know Atlanta started being on the rise? Like what made you see that?
Like put it like this. Before I moved to Atlanta, right? My uncle used to come back to Pittsburgh, he'd play Outkast, shit like that. Goody.
Oh, so he put you on Outkast?
Yeah, we used to listen to that shit. We was big hip hop heads.
No, I'm talking about, who was the first put you on Outkast?
My uncle, yeah, because he came to Georgia, heard the shit. He come back to Pittsburgh playing Outkast, Goody. And you know, we was big hip hop heads with it. That shit fire, bro. That shit butter. Like my nigga J.Paul, that shit butter. So like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like we got to Georgia, we knew it was something different. You know what I mean? But I had no idea. Like in the next couple years, I didn't move to Georgia in 97, 98. I had no idea that in the next couple years, like I went to Tri-Cities High School and Southwest DeKalb. Like matter of fact, when the Young Bloods had the UA and all that, but they shot the video like at my school and shit with the football team and all that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So with the football team and so it was like we was growing up in that shit. Like that shit.
Like when they shot at y'all school, they blocked y'all. They closed y'all school down. Or
like what they did was like. Like the movie Drumline. Like a lot of people don't know that. That was my school, Southwest DeKalb. It wasn't a college, it was a high school.
Oh.
Yeah. So
they had everybody thinking it was a college.
Yeah, no, Southwest DeKalb, the band was actually a high school. And okay. So when they did it, like it was like this. It was like when we had football games, we would actually see it. Like the band would leave, come back with a whole different little name on their shit. And it would be just the same shit, but we seen cameras, all that. Like, Atlanta was blowing up fast in front of me, bro. Like, and we grew with it. We grew with it. Like, Dark Chain, real talk, Dark Chain had a lot to do with it, too. Because I don't know what it was, you know, if it was about his vision and what, like, he always relentless. Dark Chain to this day, Dark Chain Entertainment, relentless. You know what I'm saying? Like, Augusta's going to know us because we relentless. Real talk, like I don't care if it's partying, we relentless. Freestyling, relentless. You know what I'm saying? And whatever we do it to death. You know what I'm saying? Like we believe in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know if it was that, but it was things that was happening in front of us that could have been like, everybody else was watching Atlanta, but then there was a certain few of us, certain people that was just there. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, I remember seeing Future and shit at open mics. Like, watching the style kind of change a little bit when he was in Little 5 Points in Atlanta and shit. He disappeared. Next thing you know, you like, oh, that's homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, crazy, though. Shit crazy, bro. Like, nah, we used to go to open mics on, like, crazy shit, like, on the West End and shit like that. And you see people like Killer Mike. And you see people like, you see artists like, you know, we would see artists like, literally, bro, like, I can't tell you the amount of times, bro, I seen somebody at an open mic and they got a hot-ass song, right? Mm-hmm. And they be at an open mic and you be like, oh, yeah, that's hot, that's hyphy. And then next thing you know, that shit on the radio or it blew up. Like, it was happening to us, like, not to us, but that's the way it felt it was to us, you know what I mean? Like, that's a special feeling to be in music and to really get to see that. Like, people who lived during that time in Atlanta, it was crazy. Right. Like, I remember, like, the dude who you know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, I put this on the hood. The Plug. I went over to the Plug house. He was listening to Jeezy. I'm like, what the hell is this? Before Trapper Doc came out. Yeah, this was when he had the Streets is Watching, the first one. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I went over there, like, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this shit hard. Yeah. Next thing you know, Trapper Down, like, the biggest album in the country. I'm like, so, like, that shit was weird, because it was like, it felt like it was happening to us. Like I said, I ain't from Atlanta, but, like, a lot of people from Atlanta will attest to this. Right. Like, you just, if you was in that circle, you was around, you was working, you was moving, like, it's crazy. Like, Scores, shout out Scores, downtown Atlanta, Dark Chain. Another situation. Remember, Buddy had the club. Walk around the club, bump everybody. I seen him perform that shit like 5 weeks in a row. Club going crazy. That shit hard. Now I'm driving to work the next, you know what I mean, a few weeks later, that shit on the radio. I'm like, oh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, how could you not be inspired to keep on pushing and keep on doing what you're doing? You know what I mean? Cause y'all see all these artists, you know, they be at the same shows y'all be at. Facts. They be in the same place y'all be at, and they show you that you can do it. You just gotta be consistent. Yeah, facts, bro. And that's another thing too. Yeah, like, man, sometimes the industry, I don't care. Like, it ain't like going to go get a job nowhere else. It ain't like even if you working on a clock somewhere to where it's a manager somewhere watching you putting them hours in, all that sweat, tears, all that money you spend. There ain't no one specific person watching. Yeah. Real talk is almost like catching the lightning in a bottle. Because you could do all this. You could have the hottest song ever, but if you don't move, like, and it don't happen right, you know what I mean? Like, that's why we believe in, like, pushing, you know what I mean? Like, we believe in, like I said, whatever we do, we gonna do it, you know what I mean? That's why, like it's, like, you gonna see a lot of movements coming out more, like, we fuck with Augusta heavy, man. Augusta, right now, if you ask us, man, like, Augusta one of the hottest spots in the Southeast right now.
But what's preventing Augusta from taking that next spot?
Boy, if you ask me from the outside looking in.
From the outside.
From the outside looking in, man, it's like Augusta's slick.
And you're not from here.
I ain't from here at all, and I got big love for
so
Augusta.
So you just sit back observing.
I sit back and observe it. It's like Augusta hold Augusta down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to say it like that, but it's like you got these. And I see, bro. I swear to God, we be doing these shows, and I see like he hot. Like if you notice when Atlanta took the game over. The thing when they start hitting 106 in Park with Lil Jon and all that shit.
Right.
You ever think about it? It's a song with Lil Jon, Ludacris, and fucking Usher. Of course it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you think about it, that's one thing that kind of stops Augusta because there's so much division. Right. You know what I'm saying? Between like, and, you know, I feel, you know what I mean? Like it's different generation shit, banging the shit. I understand the shit. Shit, I bang myself, but you know, I'm older now, so I don't really do it, but I understand, are you from this side, are you from there? But when it came down to bread, like, one thing I could say is Atlanta understood was, shit, we'll make more money in this city, and they're, to this day, like, bro.
They proved
it. To this day, yeah, they proved it, but to this day. Like I said, I moved here in 97, 98. When I was living in Atlanta, there's people that I went to high school with. You know what I'm saying? DJ Holiday. Fucking, like, these niggas, they on the radio, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that I knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, shout out Rock Life Zoe from Atlanta. Some of my best friends from high school. Day and motherfucking Shavar, man. Shout out Capo, the other Capo. You know what I'm saying? The other, you know what I'm saying? East Side bosses, you know what I mean? Little Rock Life Zoe, he moved to Atlanta with them. Zoe living it up. Every time they come to Augusta, so I ain't worried about what's going on in Augusta. Like, he got big love for it. He loved this place.
Right.
But at the same time, it took for him to leave to see more of the world. And I ain't saying you got to leave Augusta. No, you know, like, I ain't want to say that 100%. I ain't dissing Augusta, nothing like that. I ain't saying you got to leave. What I'm saying is you got to believe more in where you at. Right. Because, like, at the end of the day, man, there's spots out there that's blowing up. Like, man, like, it's about like people in Augusta never seen a lot of the rest of the world. Like,
yeah.
Bro, like Memphis. You look at Memphis, Tennessee. That shit ain't nothing but like one big bottom. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, it ain't nothing but like one big. The worst part there of Augusta, everybody talk about.
That's Memphis. The whole thing, Memphis.
Real talk, Memphis.
But that's the thing with Memphis though. I noticed about Memphis. You also have more Memphis stars come from Memphis than Augusta.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Memphis support Memphis too.
That's what I'm
saying. When you go to Memphis, bro, like, and that's another thing. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, motherfucker. I signed myself, man. Rest in peace, Paul Tut. That's big on me. Like, man, like, you know, like, we been in Memphis. We spread our bones out there too. You know what I mean? Shout out a little chat. Shout out everybody we done touched down with out there, man. Like, one thing I did notice. If you from Parkway, whole Parkway banging your music. Your shit get hot enough, whole Memphis banging your music. Wow. Unless you want some Yo Gotti, Dolph type shit, then you may get some little, once you get hot in Memphis, bro, Memphis playing your music.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like,
it's proof out there.
Like, in Augusta, I done see more people leave Augusta and make blow up. Real shit, I had no idea that your boy, I had to leave the hoe alone to get my mind right. Yeah. Had no idea that it's from Augusta. Yeah. And that shit hot. Like, when it came out, that shit was hot. You know what I'm saying? But we had no idea.
But that's sad because if you, like, one thing I know is about Augusta, everybody that did get a deal or got blew up, Gusta don't support it.
They kind of faded,
they faded, like, you don't hear them no more. Yeah. They never actually play none of their music anyway down here. You don't hear nobody bumping nobody's music they got signed. Not a diss or nothing. That just, that's just what Augusta is, bro. Like, the only person, like, that you see probably they still play today that's known is James Brown.
Yeah, and I mean,
they're actually known worldwide.
Yeah,
Augusta still plays them.
Yeah, he's the biggest
monument. Yeah. But as far as everybody else that's been in Augusta, the 12 gauges, the Donkey Butts, the Daisy Dukes, the TK Kravitz, the J Foxes, the all those different types of artists. They just act like they never was here.
And that's true, real talk. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you though, but it can change too, though.
It can change.
Because like coming from Pittsburgh, perfect example. Like, I remember coming from Pittsburgh, like, the idea of being a rapper from Pittsburgh was like, get the fuck out of here. Even though, like, way back in the day, like Sam Snead and like all these other rappers that fought Dr. Dre, they was from Pittsburgh. Right. So I always been like, if you ever noticed, Snoop been wearing Steelers jersey since the early 90s.
Right. I'm trying to think who the hell some rappers from Pittsburgh.
You know what I mean? Like Wes McMillan and them. And that was like when the tag kind of changed. Because, like, I remember, like, Pittsburgh, one thing about Pittsburgh, like Chicago, it's a lot of drill rappers up there. Like Molly.
So y'all got the drill rappers.
Yeah, like Pittsburgh's a confrontational ass city. Like, it's a steel city. Yeah, it's a blue collar ass city. Everybody roll their sleeves up, getting the mud up there. You know what I mean? So it's like, back in the day, like, there was rappers that, like, man, rest in peace of Teflon. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace Jimmy Wabo, man. It's sad that they lost their life out there in the hood. But they was like, they represented more of the blood and bone of Pittsburgh. And it's some out there still, you know what I mean? Big shout out Asco 100, man. Shout out Hardo, man. It's a lot of y'all out there. Hemi. You know what I mean? It's a lot of rappers out there in Pittsburgh, man, that real talk, they got fired. But one thing that kind of stopped Pittsburgh, like you said, is, like I was speaking on Augusta, is that division. Right. But sometimes it break through. Yeah. And like real top shit. Piff, I mean, I said that I'm tripping, but Wiz made the black and yellow song. You seen what that happened? Like take off. All over the world. Like, you know what I mean? They playing it at the stadium and shit like that. So yeah, it's possible, bro. Yeah. It's possible anywhere. Yeah. But some places it's harder than others. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been in some hoods and like I ain't even gonna say like shit. Like I got a lot of family out there in Cali on the West Coast and some of the toughest hoods, but it don't be that. It be places like I've been to, like Youngstown, Ohio, and shit like that. You be like, this shit got to be like 45 minutes from hell. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they over here, like it goes down over here, like, right. And that's like that, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like real tight parts of the world that's so gutter. Like you ain't heard no rapper from there. You know what I mean? Like Gary, Indiana, Youngstown. Right. You know what I mean? It's cities like that, like Flint and shit like that. Like up in Michigan and different places I done been to, man. You'd be like, shit. Like, we're, you know what I mean? Like, we're, right. You know what I mean? But they ain't always about being the hardest in the hood. You know what I mean? Like, it's about building, man. At the end of the day, man, why is you in this business? Why is you out here if you ain't trying to build, man? Right. That's the way I feel about it, man. It's about breaking them molds. You feel me? Like, if you come from somewhere like that, your goal should be changing that shit. So the next person that come after you, right. They ain't supposed to be even tripping on that. Yeah, like I don't even like me being a dark chain, you know what I'm saying, artist and OG, whatever, however you want to put it. I don't even want the youngins even thinking like life is the way I thought it was. Yeah. Like for them, like shit, I want them to just be like shit, bro. This is how we live. This is how we do it. You know what I mean? Like shit, we young, fly, and flashy. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like fuck the. You know what I mean? Like that ain't all that. Us as a people, that ain't all who we are. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like we need, and I feel like what's lost that we don't have enough OGs.
Yeah, that's real.
And I'm talking when I mean by OGs, I mean that's back real. Then you had people, you had other, you had motherfuckers that's been out there in the street, in the dirt. They see you something different for you, so they get on your ass about, hey, what the fuck you doing out here?
Facts, yeah.
Like, what you doing? Hey, you tell your mama, I'm gonna bust your ass. Don't let me catch you out. But it's like now the more OGs is more of putting them out there faster, more.
Fact. Creating crash that's dummies and shit.
Where they too young to even try to understand because they don't teach them the right stuff. You know, because that's one thing we got to teach the youth how to survive.
Facts.
Survive. You know what I'm saying? Not teach them the street. I was explaining on the last interview, I was telling some guy, like, I'm from the hood.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you everything from the hood. I can tell you all the biggest dope boys in the hood.
Yeah. I
can tell you the baddies in the hood. I can tell you dope this. I can tell you whatever, any strange activity, gangs, I know it because grew up around it. But I had this disagreement with someone that was like, well, you're not really from the hood. You just grew up in it. I said, no, that's not true.
Yeah,
it's not true because it's like, I grew up there.
Fact.
And so it's like, if you walk outside, the hood is there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's there. And then a lot of my friends were selling dope. These people I went to school with, play ball with, different things like that. Yeah. I'm not going to not be their friend because of what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was telling people, just because you say you from the hood doesn't mean that you so dope.
Fact.
Shot bodies, you in gang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, what you think about that?
Man, I think what you said is some of the realest shit ever, because I was talking to somebody about that like a couple weeks ago. Like, I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna say I was a fucked up kid. I was a smart kid. Right. Guidance wise, I had guidance and shit, but I was just a weird kid. Like, I started smoking cigarettes when I was probably like 4th grade. Like, that was just a bad little fucker. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was just a little cut up, but at the same time, I was talking to somebody, I was like, man, I ain't nowhere near as bad as I could have been.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, cause, like, I had people around me, not only like the people that raised me, like my grandma and shit like that kind of, they instantly, like, all that dumb shit was out the door, you know? Like, I wasn't never a stupid kid either, you know what I mean? So, I knew, like, all that other shit. I checked that shit out the door. You know what I'm saying? Rip. I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, back then it's like, so like you said, OGs that was around me, like, between my uncles and the OGs and just the hood, like, I don't give a... Yeah, if I was fucking 3 blocks down and around the corner, if somebody seen me disrespecting somebody or elderly or doing some dumb shit like that, man, one of them motherfuckers been smack me in the back of the head. Not only that, by the time I made it to the crib, somebody been caught up to the house. Like, yeah, I see Lil Kev, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same thing at my grandma's, same thing at my dad's house. You know what I'm saying? And they both from actually like my mom and dad from like Warren neighborhoods. Like my mom and dad was like Romeo and Juliet for real. Like, that shit crazy, yeah. Like, that shit wild. Even Africa, you know what I mean? Like, they even bring that shit up. But, like my dad's neighborhood and my neighborhood where I grew up in, they hate each other. They like solemn enemies.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah, that shit wild. Like, to this day, like, there ain't even much flagging and banging and shit going on. But you don't see too many Garfield and Armor Cats just hanging out together. Hell no.
Alright, so let's talk about some of the some being out, you know, just your life in general. You done been through some battles.
Boy.
Got some battle scars.
Hell yeah.
And different things like that. What was like when you got shot?
But I ain't never get really hit like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I went through a lot of shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still rocking like even new scars and shit like that. You know what I mean? Right. Like, a lot of shit that I went through, like, for one, like, I found out later in life I was born with like heartburns and shit like that.
Yeah.
So really all my life, like, the last thing I should have been doing was smoking at, you know what I mean, in 4th grade and shit like that. Different shit like that. But it was like, we get into hood beefs or whatever, or anything, whatever, you know what I mean? Especially when I got to Atlanta, man, we just involved in so much crazy shit. Like, I can remember, like, walking to the crib and just, like, getting dizzy and just, like, falling out. Didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me, you know what I mean? It wasn't until actually, you know what I mean, like, I was with my girl or whatever, and it happened. Somebody actually seen it. And they was like, bro, you've been having strokes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I got fucked up the first time, I found out that I possibly had a stroke. I never really got hit or nothing like that. It was a situation where people were shooting at us, and I was driving. But that shit's crazy. It's hard to explain. Like, your body just kind of like noodle up. And I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because it happened to me not too long. You know what I mean? It wasn't recently like that, but it wasn't too long ago when it happened. Like, I broke 3 of my ribs, like shit like that. So, honestly, like, man, like, yeah, a lot of people, they call me killer, shit like that. You know, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm with the shit. And you know what I mean? Everybody know who I am. Man. I mean, I ain't gotta even, you know what I mean, attest to none of that shit. But honestly, my whole life, because of that shit, like, people looked at me different, like, because, like, even to this day, like I'll be like, how you doing? My name Kevin. But everybody else that's around us, they're gonna be like, hey, Killer, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, but it's like, how else could you not think, you know, this nigga got scars all on his fucking neck. Yeah. See fucking when I got shorts on my legs, all cut, like I was fighting tigers and shit. Yeah. Niggas like, what the fuck? Like, that nigga gotta be like going, you know what I mean? Right. Like, but honestly, I think a lot of that shit, like, real top, man. I always said this shit, man. It's funny. Like, this is my first interview. Like I said today, you shot my first video, dog. Yeah. 20 years in the game, I done wrote a lot of songs. Yeah. I done seen niggas blow up off of shit I wrote. But first video, like, and it's crazy. Like, nobody ever really knew that about me. But it's like, slick. Like, it's weird because it's people that don't even think I exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be like, man, ain't no way that nigga. Some niggas be like, bro, you talking about Piff? They be like, oh yeah, so Piff really got a cousin that was in the wheelchair 2-3 times, and he's supposed to lose his leg, but he walk around, he got both of his legs, but one of them don't work. Shit like that, like, and like people don't understand that shit. Like, so it's like, it's kind of like a myth to me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, not a myth to me, but a lot of people, like, what they think I am and who I actually am ain't the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they be looking at it like, oh yeah, this nigga like the Terminator. Real shit, I really just... Yeah, really, I just be like, bro, I just don't want to see nobody get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, to go through the shit that I've been through, shit. Bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's as far as I'm going to, like, even a situation, like you were saying, like, yeah, that shit's fucked up. Everybody know about it. But that shit actually happened multiple times. I did the shit one time, I was driving. Blacked out, I drove it, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, my heart always had issues to the point where, like, there was points where my heart would release blood clots. And I was just, like, blacking out. Like, I was driving one time, you know, like, and I can't even really explain it, bro. Like, anybody else in the world would have probably hit a pole, some different shit like that. I went under a fence, and when I woke up, I was, like, kind of mad. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, nigga, I just put the car in reverse. If I'd have never backed up, if I'd have just drove around, I could have left. Nobody probably would have even knew. You know what I mean? Like, I would have knew later on because I think I had broke ribs and shit then too, but nobody would have seen it. But I backed up, the car tire bust. I was so mad that I walked the fuck away. I wasn't even supposed to be walking there. It wasn't until later that I got to the crib, I realized, like, oh, fuck, like, I'm down bad. I can't move my legs, shit like that. So it's like, man, all that shit, people be talking about that gangster shit and all that, man. Just imagine trying to live that life and you doing all that gangster shit, but you going through that shit too. So, like, man, I don't care what nobody say. If you really out there, like, doing all that shit, like, I really don't take nobody serious that be saying that they, oh, we gangster and we doing all this, man. Like, real talk. like most gangsters don't want to see nobody get hurt, bro. They know, yeah, real talk, bro. Like, that's the last thing they want right now. It's like, like, yeah, man, gangsters don't die, they get chubby, they move to Miami. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, man. So so that shit tough to even talk about or even deal with, man. Like my little one don't even know about, like, she probably never will, you know what I mean?
So, man, all right. So before we slide off on Newbie, man.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, before we slide off on Newbie, man, how can they find you on social media?
Man, real talk, man. Like you said, you catch me under motherfucking 893 Capo on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Killa Kev all over YouTube and different things like that, man. My Facebook real talk still under my real name. You know what I mean? That's Kevin Mungo. I ain't from Africa. I'm from Kershaw Mafia. But, you know what I mean? We're going to talk about that later. But, yeah, you know, like... But, yeah, man, check me out on Instagram, man. 893 Capo, man. I'm really, like... I be in the background, like, you know what I mean? Like, jetting them, like, cups and they coming up, you know what I mean? I be, like, the mind behind the madness. I really don't be too much in the forefront. I make music and things like that. If it happens, it's going to happen. But me, I'm about progressing the team. I'm about pushing the line for the squad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely.
Right. So, any love you want to shout out?
Shit, I got to shout out my baby girl. That real talk. That's shit. My one and only, my little one.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. You know, my little 3-year-old little, that's daddy's little baby girl, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to her mama for being so strong, holding her down, man. You know, that's between us, man. That's family, man. You already know. That's about it, man. You already know Pittsburgh, you know, East Side Atlanta, man. I got y'all, man.